Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. I'm Gav, that's Kev. This is a Liverpool update, I suppose. Just some news. There's no massive stuff at the moment, but we thought we'd talk about a few bits that's happening just to get everybody up to speed. Somebody in the chat said, "Oh Jesus, I need this update because I can't keep up with all the ins and outs." Dan Austin it was. So Dan, if this show is just for you, that's enough for us.
So,
Kev, look, it's been a crazy, I think, week or 10 days for Liverpool with regards to, you know, Ekatike coming in, all the stuff around Isak. There was Diaz, who we'll talk about in a little bit. Rumours about outgoings, rumours about more incomings. We're trying to get some games in between this, although they're not there to pay an awful lot of attention to. It's all about fitness and getting minutes in the legs, etc. But I suppose the big thing on the tour is watching the players on the tour doing different bits, and that's been interesting. Megan says she was in Shankly's bar in Salou, I believe, earlier on, some set up great pub and a very decent point of course for a very decent price. But I'm talking from about 2017 there, Megan. So it could have gone through the roof since. But I do know that the woman that runs her husband travels back to Anfield for every home game. I do know that much. When I was talking to them a few years ago, Brian has had a mighty cup of hot chocolate. Fuck me, right, we're off. Anyway, Liverpool, Kev.
I don't know if I'm breaking up or you're breaking up or what's the story.
No,
Um,
I can hear you perfect.
oh fuck it, it's right.
Can you
I'm
hear me
there.
now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So if I break up, it's yeah.
No, don't worry about it.
You're a long. I'm a long way from Dublin. What can I say?
Um, let's start with the news around Will Wright, the striker from Salford. Rumoured to be Liverpool to be interested a couple of weeks back. Liverpool were in the lead to sign this player. Then it was like, no. Arsenal have gone in and have offered a higher amount of money, which was fine. Everyone was like, right, okay, Arsenal have offered more money. But it turns out that Arsenal had an agreement with Salford with regards to a fee. Liverpool went in and matched that fee, and the player has agreed terms with Liverpool and will undergo medical, I think, in the next couple of days anyway. The only thing I can find on this player, Kev, is that he's 17 years of age, and he has scored 50 goals in numerous age ranges for Salford in the last year. I know it's not the big, massive signing of the summer, because there's been quite a few, but it's an interesting one because it's like for such a young guy signing from Salford to Liverpool, there's been a lot of noise around him.
Well, the thing is, Arsenal agreed a fee for around 200 grand for him, right?
Yeah.
And apparently they didn't agree personal terms. Liverpool come in, done the deal. He wanted to stay in the northeast. Apparently, the interesting thing about him is that when you read the reports about him, he didn't come through the academy, the traditional academy setup. So he was. I think he might have been picked up later on by Salford, and he played 3 senior games for Salford last season. League Cup against Man City, and a couple of other games, a couple of other appearances late in the season. But look, he'll go into the under-21s, and we'll see what he's like. I mean, we've seen this summer, the cost of strikers is absolutely insane. So if you can develop one, I mean, that's the dream. If you can develop one to come into the squad of 6 forwards, that gives you so much leeway down the line. And the hope is he turns into another Harvey Elliott type player. That at 21, 22 years of age, he's playing for England under 21s. He's going to tournaments, doing well. And clubs start looking at him, and you're generating interest at the 50, 60 million pound range. That's the dream.
Or he's even better than that, and you don't say.
And then we keep it. So we don't know. But that's the hope. I mean, 200 grand for a 17-year-old striker from the northwest. Sorry, yeah, and you just hope it works out for him. He'll go into the under 21s. Rob Page taking over the under 21 setup. So new coach, new players, and the best setup that you could imagine for young players to develop. So I'm sure he'll be in really good hands.
Jack Napier says, my missus has listened to a good 6 hours of Talkin Kop content on the speaker out in Malta over the last 9 days, and she's not happy about it at all. Is that because she's listening to football content or listening to us? I would say it's probably listening to us. Fucking saps talking to her while she's on a holiday in Malta. Apologies to her. But well, not really, sorry. Good work there, Jack. Good work spreading the word around Malta. Ashley has a quote here. It says, until now, Wright's football education has largely taken place outside of the academy system. It's felt that a move to an elite environment is now the right step in his development. And Beatcraft AI says, Arsenal tried hijacking the deal by bidding more, but the player only wanted Liverpool. Newcastle have just got Ramsdale in. Harry Ramsdale, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Harry Ramsdale, the goalkeeper. How many fucking times is
this prick moving?
Well, apparently he's going on a loan with a decent-sized loan fee with an option to buy from Southampton. Look, Southampton went down. Eddie Howe knows him. Eddie Howe has worked with him before at Bournemouth, so he'll come in. It'll be competition for Nick Pope. Nick Pope, 33. He's going to be Newcastle's number one still. But I think at 33, they'll look at Ramsdale as a potential one to move Nick Pope on next summer. So, why not? Because he's better than Dubravka, and he's
but he's no good, Kev.
He's better than Dubravka, and that's all they need right now.
Oh, correct, but you need better than Pope.
Pope's all right.
He's not.
No, you're coming from the opinion that Newcastle are actually in this Premier League to try to win it. They're not.
No. I'm not. I'm in it from the point of view of Newcastle fans from the very end of last season saying we need to sign a goalkeeper.
Oh yeah,
we need badly to sign a goalkeeper, and they're it looks like their solution to this is Harry Ramsden. But like I think he was at Bournemouth.
Yeah,
right. He was with Sheffield United.
He was originally, I think, with Sheffield United. Went to Bournemouth.
Went to Bournemouth.
Yeah, got a move to Arsenal.
Fucked over there.
Yeah, well, 2 years at Arsenal.
Went to Southampton.
Got
relegated there.
Look, I mean, in fairness, he had no hope at Southampton with that manager. You know, it wouldn't have mattered what Southampton did. They were a basket case. I think he's grand as a number two. And at the end of the day, I'd imagine as a loan fee, they're probably paying about 4 or 5 million for him.
Yeah.
And when you look at Newcastle were linked with James Trafford. And I think James Trafford he's an elite keeper.
Gone back to City.
He's gone back to City on the deal that City had the buyback clause.
Yeah.
Now, Burnley are saying that he went back at £31 million, which would make him 31 million plus add-ons, which would make him the most expensive English keeper to move, going ahead of Jordan Pickford. The figure that's come out in the press is that it's 27 plus add-ons. Either way, I think he's an absolutely elite keeper. Yeah. But it's a risk for City to bring out in a keeper that young. Granted, he's really talented, but City are going to be in the Premier League next season to win it. And Newcastle were never in the running for that. I know Newcastle fans wanted to sign Trafford, but at the end of the day, they were never at the races on that one. City always had the buyback clause. So
the weird one with Trafford is that the other guy is going to leave, isn't he?
Ederson, yeah.
No, not him. The other fella.
What, Ortega?
Yeah. There's talk that Ortega is gone. Trafford's going to come in, and they reckon that Ederson will be number one with Trafford as number two. But Trafford has to be going back there thinking I'm going to be City's number one at some stage, because like Pep blew out fucking Ederson quite a few times last season.
Yeah.
But there you go. Look, Harry Ramsden, fair play to him. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ! Like, he mustn't sign many long-term leases on gaffs that he's renting. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, he must literally move in and then go, right, listen, lads, I'm giving you notice. There's me 3 months' notice. I'm heading off again. Jesus, unbelievable.
I'll be honest. I honestly thought that Ederson was going to Turkey.
No,
I saw some
Ortega, according to Yus, has been told he can leave the club by Man City, which I'd understand if Ederson was leaving and you bring in Trafford and you go, right, he's going to go as number one, Ortega stays where he is, but it's a bit of a weird one the other way around. But anyway, fair play to Harry and his latest fucking move. Unbelievable.
He's not got as good an agent as Joe Felix. Joe Felix.
Oh yeah, man. What's the fella, the striker that plays for everyone?
Morata. No,
Morata.
Lukaku.
Now, Lukaku's big money, but Morata goes everywhere.
Morata goes everywhere, yeah.
I tell you what he needs. I feel like he hasn't settled in properly at any of these clubs. What he needs Dion doubling down to his gaff.
That's
right?
it.
And Dion will walk him around the house and he'll go, look, up the stairs there to the bedrooms, etc., etc. And then his other mate will come in, and every time he asks, what made you move in here? He looks like he's playing the piano, which is the crack. So for people that don't know what we're talking about, go and look it up. Everton is rumoured to be going to Galatasaray. Turkish press saying personal terms are done. Says Pierce, so there you go. So if Trafford comes in, are they going to maybe they both leave and they bring someone else in to back up Trafford, who has, he's been impressed with Trafford anytime I've kind of seen him.
I think last season he went something like 13 games. He had 13 clean sheets on the bounce last season.
They conceded like very few goals last season. But
It
was
they were
didn't score
good.
bang loads of them, but conceded very, very little.
Yeah.
Anyway, away from them, back to us. Will Wright, we hopefully look. He's going to come into the 21s.
Yeah.
The coverage of the 21s at Liverpool is really, really good. I know a few lads that we know that watch an awful lot of that stuff, or at least pretend to, and they tell you all what's going on. So I'm sure if he's doing anything good, them lads will let us know where as the season goes on.
100%.
Luis Diaz is in Munich, of course, for that move to Bayern Munich. We were talking about that on Sunday night show and last night, but that looks like it could be finalised over the next 24 hours, I would say. And he'll be announced as a Bayern Munich player. And I think everyone has let him, has wished him well and leaving and stuff like that. There's no animosity there. He's a player at 28 that wants to be paid in a certain way, can get more money at Bayern. I think it probably comes down to that, because I think he was really, really trusted by Liverpool last season. But he's probably looking, going, listen, they're banging into big strikers here in the summer. And like somebody said the other night, when we needed someone centrally, I think it was Matt, he said when we needed someone centrally, Slot decided that Gakpo was his man on the left and Diaz will have to move into central. So he's going to go. As Just says there, it's a good deal for all. It looks like a good deal for all.
It's a great deal for us.
He's going to get a great deal. With regards to money over the next 4 years. He's going to a top club in Bayern Munich. That'll be in the Champions League and challenging. Possibly will be winning the Bundesliga for the majority of them 4 years. And we get 65 plus million pounds, which puts a nice profit on what we paid from. I think the amortized profit on Luis Diaz is in and around £50 million. Yeah, because of what we paid in the last 4 years and what will be left and stuff like that.
And the fact that he's going after 3.5 years of his contract means we don't have to pay the full add-ons that we could have had if he stayed the whole length of his deal.
Yeah.
So all around, it's £50 million profit for Liverpool.
Yeah. On
top of everything else that we've done this summer so far. I think it's a great deal for us, as long as we get the next incoming forward right. So
it's look, we've done so much on this player, but Alexander Isak. The speculation goes on. People are sitting waiting for when's Liverpool's bid coming? When's it going to happen? I have a sneaking suspicion that Liverpool have spoken to Newcastle, and I think all the ducks are in a row here.
Yeah.
I think Eddie Howe has said. I think he was asked, could he go? Could he join the tour next week? And he went no. And then he said, well, what about him staying? And he went, look, he's still our player. He's still contract with us. I still hope. There's still an option there that he could play with us, but I think Eddie Howe looked quite resigned to the fact that Alexander Isak won't be a Newcastle player next season. The Newcastle fans have definitely turned and have given it. And listen, I have nothing against them doing that. If a player's leaving Liverpool for massive money and you think he's going somewhere, whether you're right or wrong, if you think he's going somewhere that's not as good as where you are, you've every right to be upset. So that's absolutely fine, by the way. With Newcastle fans, you have to look from both sides. But I've seen things like, his house is up for rent. His house is up for rent. I was like, fucking hell, lads, we're like bleeding.
That's plain spot. That's domestic plain spot. We're scouring the estate agents.
Yeah. Right, lads, put the fucking playing app down. We need to get onto the local estate agents around Newcastle and sort this out. And then it was like, the estate agent deleted it, and maybe Sesko's taking that house now. And I was like, fucking hell. But it does look like it's getting closer. And I don't think you're going to see a long drawn out thing here. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, Liverpool put in a bid and Newcastle have said no. I'd say in the background it'll be like, look, where's the money? There it is, right, Grant. We've agreed a deal. End the story, and that's how it'll go on.
Yeah, it's a domino move. This is a domino move.
Yeah, Tony Kenobi says Tony has heard that Isak has cancelled his milk order for the house, so that's absolutely huge news as well. Red Steve says, here's a shout, Isak, whatever you want to call him, signs the day after we play Newcastle next month. Not a chance.
No.
Not a fucking chance. Alexander Isak will be signed, I think, by the time we play Bilbao. Whether that was that next weekend. I think it'll be that quick once it gets triggered.
This weekend coming, isn't it? Isn't it this weekend coming?
Is it this? No, it can't be this weekend. Surely not.
When is the Charity Shield?
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
It's Bank Holiday Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. No, sorry. Well, I'm thinking of the following weekend. That's the Charity Shield.
Charity Shield's the following weekend.
Yeah. Brian Murphy says Corbally Red said the Isak bid was a smokescreen for the Will Wright transfer. I'd actually believe that fella said that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I'd say that's absolutely fucking 100%. He said that. Anyway, fuck me. Look, Kev, I think it's gone very, after all the hysteria around it, it's gone very quiet about it now. And it feels like, to me, it's just like I said on Sunday, people getting their ducks in a row to paint their narrative now when this all comes out. And Newcastle are in a really fucking awkward position here now because Benjamin Sesko, 65 million pounds. Newcastle can do that with the Isak money, there's no problem. But there's also rumours that Manchester United are looking at him. Now, where they're pulling the money from, I don't know, but there's rumours that they're looking at. And the number 9's options are dwindling all the time.
This is it.
Yeah, and like people are mentioning the likes of Ollie Watkins, but where do Villa go to get a striker if Ollie Watkins lives? Do you know what I'm saying? It's very limited. So Brian O'Halloran says Newcastle won't want to let this situation fester and distract them. Season kicks off in 2 weeks. I think it'll start moving tomorrow, says Brian. Yeah, we're into the back end of the week, and that's when usually things start going. Willie May says we should sign Sesko. Fucking it. Imagine doing that. Isaac wants to know. I'm not saying that, Brian. Fuck's sake, I'm not saying that. I nearly read it out, Brian. But I'm not doing that. Brian O'Sullivan, of course. Brian O'Halloran, your comments absolutely fine. The tour, though, Kev. We'll get back onto other stuff in a bit. But the tour, look, they played AC Milan the weekend. I watched it. And I was like, just watching for players, making sure they were fit, nice touches here and there. I wasn't really bothered about formations, setups, etc., because it's all about getting players fit and ready and minutes in the legs and sharpness and just getting used to being on the football pitch with each other. And we're going to see that again tomorrow against their name goes out in my head all the time. Yokoshima F. Marinos.
That's it.
And you're going to see that again tomorrow because, I'm 2 for 2 on the artwork for post-match games this pre-season. The first one I had Verts on the poster, didn't fucking play, and then I put Ekatike on it, and he didn't play either. And but I just got ahead of myself, Kev. But I think you're going to see glimpses now of Ekatike tomorrow. I'd say so. You'll see more of Verts. You'll see Kerkez. You'll see Frimpong. You'll see all the new lads, and you're just looking for snippets from them. You're just looking to get your excitement levels up, really, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, look, this lot that we're playing tomorrow, so I think they're 18th in the J League. They're not the main team in Yokohama either. It's this is really a side that you're going to play to go and dominate the ball, put on a show, and practice your attacking patterns. I watched we did the post-match show after the Milan game. First half, really impressed with some of the tactics that I saw, some of the runs that you were seeing consistently being made. Disappointed with the goals. The way we conceded, like on the counter attack, the same goal 3 times was really disappointing. But at the same time, it's good the fact that they know they have stuff to work on, and they do, no doubt about it. But this tomorrow, I'm expecting. The things I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, is I want to see the right backs. What are they doing with their runs? Are they still going to be making that inverted run? Whoever is playing left back, are they going to be holding back as a supporting left-sided midfielder in attack? and pressing sides in on that side, allowing space for Gakpo. That's the kind of things that I've noticed that over the last few games that we're tending to be more of a 4-2-2 in attack, with the forwards arriving later into the box looking for cutbacks, and in defence we're 4-5-1, and Salah is being that main high player with Florian Wirtz supporting him, and whoever is playing the 9 drops back, which would be Ekatike, I'd imagine, tomorrow, drops back into like a midfield role to, with his size really, to try to make, cut backs and whatever, cut out the balls that are coming through midfield. But yeah, there's a lot to see. There's a lot to look out for. Again, I think you'll see so many kids coming through. I'm looking forward to seeing Rio again. He's one of these players who like edgy, you see. So the thing that impressed me about him so much was his decision making. I mean, we know he's got a trick in him. We know he loves to run at players. But he ran at Tomori a few times. Tomori's a seasoned player now. He's 27, 28 years of age. At Milan a good few years. England international. And it didn't faze him one bit. And he didn't look out of place once. But his decision making in when to lay it off, when to run, everything about that, for a young kid at 16 coming up 17, that's what you're looking for in these games, is what's their decision making. There's always a criticism I'd have of Ben Doak was, yeah, you're great at running your players, but you don't make the right decision when you need to. You don't lay it off when you need to. You don't do the right thing with the ball often enough. That was at a young age. He's developed that now. He's getting better at it. But Rio looks like he's got that in spades already. This kid looks special. He really does.
He does. I've been really impressed by him, and he physically looks a bit bigger than he did last season as well. Mm-hmm. And he's only going to keep growing, isn't he? Without being 16, 17 years of age. Davey T says, "Good evening, Copoites. Our chairman is in town and he's not happy. He's already chinned Ronnie Pickering," which is, there you go, it's Davey, top man. Brian says, "Are we a little concerned about the makeup of the team going forward, making us a little easy to break on and get through our midfield? There is no obvious defensive midfielder." No is my answer, Brian, because if you listen to Arne Slot, he talks about as much off the ball as he does on the ball. He talks about being in shape, being in position, knowing when the trigger is there to press or when to compress the pitch or stand off. There's an attention to detail there. There really is. I wouldn't pay any attention, by the way, to the game against AC Milan. Some really good goals by AC Milan, by the way. We were caught in the break, but if you look up the makeup of the team and how we are playing, and look, lads were probably training that morning. I genuinely, I wouldn't take anything out of it. I think you'd start to take more out of it. For me, even tomorrow, I wouldn't take an awful lot out of it. I would start looking at the Bilbao games though, and definitely the Charity Shield. What I think, Brian, is, it's natural to have this feeling because of the amount of forwards, creative players we're talking about. You're talking about your Ekatikes, possibly Isak. You're talking about Kerkez and Bradley in and Frimpong in forward terms really as well. Then you have Wirtz, you have Salah. There's just so much going on there. You have Ngamoa, you have Gakpo, and people are focusing massively on that. And I think the fact that a centre half hasn't come in, which I think he will, I think there's probably people going, what is going on here? I think you're going to see a change in midfield. I think you're going to see help for Gravenberch. I think you're going to see a slightly higher press, but the key here for me is that the fullbacks, right, all of them, even Robertson to a certain extent, can get back really fucking quickly, right? And I think they're going to be, I think they are going to be high up the pitch, but I don't think it's too much to be getting concerned over, because it's not like we're going to be miles of the pitch and teams are going to step out and put 4 lads in midfield looking to break forward on you. They're not. I think this is being absolutely primed for us to make these games where teams sit in, which they've done an awful lot last season, easier on ourselves. I think we made too many of them hard on ourselves last season, and I think we're designed to make this very similar to what we done last season, but make it easier, take more chances, be a bit more creative, open teams up a bit more. And you have to go back the other way. It's not like your Ngamoa, your Gakpo, right off Salah a little bit, but your Sobas, Lyles, McAllister's, Wirtz. It's not like they're not going to run back. They are going to run back. But I think the key here is that And I keep saying it, and I could be completely wrong. We could genuinely start with Gravenberch, McAllister and Wirtz, and we go the exact same way. But I genuinely think you're going to see Konate. I think you're going to see Virgil. I think you're going to see Gravenberch, and I think you're going to see McAllister. And I think that will be his four that he's going to pick and say, that box of four are going to look after us. And Kerkez or Robertson or Bradley or Frimpong will get up the pitch, but he can also get back. And you have to remember, we won't rely as much on Konate's covering of a right back for me, because of the pace to get back. So, listen, in the back of my head, probably you think, oh, yeah, how will it look? But overall, I don't think they're naive enough to go, let's sign all these players going forward, and we're going to leave ourselves massively open. That's where I am on it. Red Steve says there, Villa have not boosted that squad. They'll struggle this season. It's actually a show I'd like to do in the next week or so, Kev. Maybe you can jump on and others with us. And just go through a couple of teams as to who they signed and let go, just to see where we think they are. Because I think there's always a team that you look and go, oh, they haven't really strengthened. Will they struggle? And they don't. They just have a togetherness and they're good. And then there's teams we go, oh, they've made really good signs and they're terrible. You know, I'm still trying to sort out Joe from Leeds fan Joe to come on. I did ask Lee Gunnar if he wanted to come on. He said yes, but he's a very busy man, so I haven't heard back from him. I'll follow up on that with regards to Arsenal. We've done Everton, and after that, we'll see how we go.
I'm just seeing there in the breaking news tonight, Nick Pope might be a target for Manchester United.
Well, they need a goalkeeper. But the funniest thing about that, Kev, is that Onana knows he's not going to play. He knows he's not going to be number one anymore, and now he's just gone down with an 8-week injury.
An 8-week injury, yeah.
I'm wrecked, lads. Can't sell me. Sorry about that. Just one thing that came out in the last was it today or yesterday? Because I get all my days mixed up. Alisson has left the tour, travelled home and it just says on a personal matter. So I don't really want to go, oh, what's going on, and make it too big. It could be a very simple personal matter. But it did say that he's going home to sort out a personal matter, and he will rejoin the squad for the Bilbao games. So that looks like, with them saying that, it looks like it's okay. So I don't think we need to go into that too much. No. Red Steve says Lee Gunnar is too busy standing outside Arteta's house booing. Listen, I put it out there and said, is there an Arsenal fan out there you'd like us to talk to? And Lee Gunnar overwhelmingly was the name that came back to us. So I tried to do exactly what you wanted to do. Someone did say that Malik Fofana got concussion after Everton made a bid for him. Am I right in thinking that this is around 40 million euros, Kev?
I've seen big money banded around for him. And look, I don't know that much about him. I know he's highly rated. I just he's the kind of player that would have found his way to PSG in previous years. Highly talented, young French player, but they're stacked. They're stacked for forwards at the minute. And I can't say what he's worth or what he isn't worth. I saw him linked to Everton. I saw, and then you see Everton have done the diddle with the women's football team, so they're going to be doing some kind of business. It might be a clever bit of business for Everton. And it's the kind of move that Everton probably should be trying to do.
36 million euros apparently Everton bid, and that was rejected. And apparently someone was saying to me Spurs and somebody else looked at him and he's not interested. He's Belgian, he's only 20, he's still no O'Rourke. The thing here is that the rumour is that there's another Premier League side that want him and he wants them.
Yeah.
And I've seen an awful lot of people say, no, he plays predominantly off the left-hand side. We don't need left-hand side. Actually says they want 60 million euros, 40 million up front minimum. Everton placed a bid of 36, which was rejected. So they're not getting 60 million for him. There's not a fucking hope they're getting 60 million for him. Fofana doesn't have Fofana doesn't have his 25-metre swimming proficiency, so he's not allowed into Bramley Murdoch. Look, I'm not too sure if Liverpool are interested there, unless they decide we bring him in. He's kind of that project player, as people like to talk about, and they say, listen, you're going to spend an awful lot of time on the right hand side here. We're going to if we're going to give you minutes anywhere, it's going to be in replacement of Salah, and we're going to try to turn you into a right winger rather than a left winger. But
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
I see how that one plays out. I honestly think it's a kind of a deal. If at 60 million, no, Everton can't go anywhere near that, and I don't think many Premier League clubs can.
Would you? Sorry,
Especially,
Kev. Just quickly on the old selling the women's team thing.
yeah, yeah.
Would you be concerned as an Everton fan? And I must text Dave Downey and ask him this. Would you be worried as an Everton fan that one of the first moves your new owners make is to come in and make a move for me, which is one of, we're in trouble here. Let's do this.
It's a nuclear option that is open to every Premier League club with a women's side, and it's a rule that other clubs have exploited. I hate it, but it's there. And if they need quick money, cash in the door now, then and they do. So yeah, it makes total sense, and
I know it makes
it's
total.
like,
I know it makes total sense, Kev. But
yeah.
you see, their owners coming in would have the scope to put X amount of money into the football club. Everybody gets that when you move in, right? You get a certain amount that you can put in as an owner, as a one-off thing. I don't know what the figure is, but I know there's a figure, right? But to me, it feels like the Everton owners have gone in there and they've went, right, are we going to put this money in? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll sell the fucking, that. I understand it's a sister company of theirs buying it, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's still. Why don't you just take your money and put it in, rather than taking this asset straight away and making this move? Because when we see Chelsea do this and we see Aston Villa do it, straight away we're going, they're doing this because they need to get the money on the books here to square things off and help them.
Yeah.
And that's definitely the case with Villa and definitely the case with Chelsea. And a brand new owner comes in at Everton and that's one of the first things they do. I think it's a worrying sign if your owner comes in and does that.
I think they don't have long to do this, to add money themselves. It might just be a case that they turn around and said, like FSG have done, and say, look, you can spend what you earn, and this is a way of earning money. And it's there, we're gonna do it. So yeah, I don't know about it. I think it's a smart play. I do. I think it's a clever bit of business. But they need to spend wisely. They need to bring in players that they can flip in 18 months. Do you know what I mean? They need to be able to be smart in their transfer dealings. That's why I said if they went to look at Fofana at 36 million and flip him in 18 months, 2 years for a good profit, that's how they've got to start building the club and build it over a decade. It's going to take a long time for Everton to be properly self-sustaining.
I think some people forget as well, like Everton have put that stadium there, and all right, people have said, oh, well, the council have put so much in and all that. Maybe so, but Everton put a huge amount of money in there. And I always go back to Arsenal building the Emirates in 2006, and it took them 10 years to get back onto a footing where they could compete in a transfer window. Literally window on window. You're kind of going, Arsenal are fucking mad here. Ashley says Everton have said that this move allows the women's team to operate as a standalone entity and potentially attract minority investment as well, but it's really just a PSR thing. That is fucking nonsense, right? The women's team to operate as a standalone entity, right? They can absolutely operate as a standalone entity. Absolutely operate as a standalone entity and still be under the ownership of Everton Football Club and potentially attract minority investment as well. Why couldn't they attract minority investment anyway?
Exactly. That makes no sense. It is what it is.
I get it to a point where you say you move them over here and you say they're separate to Everton Football Club, right? I get that, and minority, but are they not more attractive being part of Everton and being linked directly with Everton, the men's team, and the stadium and everything else? A standalone entity. I promise you, if you go out here and you start up a standalone entity as fucking, Southport FC and go, oh, well, we're playing in the Everton colours and we're Southport FC, people won't give a bollocks. You're going to get more pull as part of Everton and attract minority investment. If I want to invest in Everton, they don't need to be a separate entity. I can go in and say, listen, I want to
No, you
invest.
don't, because
I want to invest. I want to invest 10 million in Everton's women's team, and it will be invested in that team.
Yeah, and Everton's women are a decent side. You know, they've got the wood over Liverpool for the last few years in every derby they've played. They're a right pain, and every time the derby comes around, Chris hides under his sofa. He hates them. But I mean, I think Ireland's international keeper plays for Everton, and you know they have a few good players. They have some decent players there. It is what it is. They're looking to get 60 million into the club, into Everton Football Club, and this is a way to do it. It's how they go and spend that 60 million now.
But who's going to put the money into Everton as a standalone entity?
Oh, look, the WSL is, after what happened with the England winning the Euros and the WSL having more and more games shown on TV from the next season on, and it's expanding as well. The WSL is actually in a really healthy state financially. Those clubs, the players don't earn a fortune. The TV deal is very good. Those clubs are probably as well run, if not better run, than most men's sides.
It's just
so. Everton's women even if they are as a standalone club will be absolutely fine. You know,
I understand that, but Everton women's team here now, under the umbrella of Everton Football Club, have been sold to a sister company who are going to give, is it the Freakin Group? Is that what they're called? They're going to give the Freakin Group 60 million quid, and they're going to say, right, we own Everton women's team. And they go, yeah. Now the 60 million, where's it going? Right, it's going straight into the men's team, okay? Yeah. And these lads over here have given 60 million for Everton. What are they going to do? Just run it as it was? They're just going to run it as it was and hope to get minor investment.
I think the way they look at it is, look at how Chelsea have ran since they've done what they've done. And Chelsea have gone out and spent significantly investing in the women's, in bringing in some. I think up until Liverpool sold their main player to Arsenal for over £1 million, Chelsea had broken the women's transfer record 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
in the last few months.
Yeah, it's a really strange one. And look, I don't see how we can sit there and look at Chelsea and Villa, right, and go, right, why are they doing that? We know why they're doing it. We have a really good idea why they're doing it. And then Everton do it, and people go, well, standalone entity and minor investment. You're like, would you give me a break? No, sure. These two lads are over here doing it, right? And both of them have more money than you, right? Both of them have more money than you, and they're fucking doing it. Yeah. And now these lads are coming in and doing it, and you're like, I'd be worried. I'm just going to say, I'll be worried. A super chat from Scouts Doyle says, the window has finally given me the belief in the ownership and the fact that they are here to win. Nobody expects it every window, but the intent is key. Yeah, they've been very intent on what they're doing this summer. And look, I think it's very clear what you said there. Nobody expects it every window. I think what they're doing is, I think this window they've decided, right, let's put a 5-year plan in place here instead of 2. Let's blow the 2-year Salah Van Dijk thing out of the water and go 5. And let's do this year, see where we go and trade from there. And we'll adjust as we go. It's mad. Look, before we get on and finish off the show and whatever else, I want to give a shout out to NordVPN. They are sponsoring this show for us tonight. The link is in the description for NordVPN if you would like to get a VPN. And of course, look, they're dead handy. I'm not going to lie, I used them last week. They're dead handy, but the season is starting soon, and you may be in a country that you can't get access to the Premier League at certain times, and when you can't do that, you can go onto your NordVPN. You can get your virtual private network for whatever country you need to be in, and you can stream sports, you can stream football, you can stream all the sports, you can stream TV, whatever you like. You can absolutely do that. You have got that option. You also have the security. So if you're away, which I will be in the next couple of weeks again, when I'm over in Liverpool, and you're out and you're trying to work and you're using that dodgy fucking Wi-Fi and hotels or whatever it might be, the VPN is where it really works, because it keeps everything that you're using secure, and I need that for the work we do. And as well as that, multiple devices. So you can, this with NordVPN and you sign up, it'll cover 10 devices. It won't just cover one when you're going away and, I'm using that, so you can't use it. You can use it on 10 devices, which does, it's fantastic if you're away with kids and they're on tablets and you're trying to get Wi-Fi for them all. The VPN is fantastic. So, link is in the description. Click on that link if you want to get NordVPN. You're getting 4 months free for a 24-month contract. You're getting 4 months free in there as well. It's a brilliant price. And as well as that, look, if it's not working for you, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. Red Steve says, Kev's changing countries as we speak. Yeah, Kev fucked off. He was having a bit of an issue earlier. So we'll leave it there. Dylan says, Paul Joyce is mentioning Leon and Morton. You'd have to expect that for to heat up over the next few days if Joyce is mentioning it. Yeah, you would, because Joyce doesn't usually say anything until something's happening. I'm wondering if Liverpool say, look, we think Morton's worth 20 million quid here, and which is 25 million euros, and you think Fofana is worth that, and we'll give you 20 million euros and him, and it's not a swap deal, but it is, that sort of way. One Arm Boxer says, I feel a bit sorry for Eddie Howe. I agree with that statement. Not so sorry that I wouldn't enjoy us buying Isak, but I have a heart, folks. We could potentially get a few funny headlines in the new week, in the next few weeks. Lots of Howe puns. Yeah. Eddie Howe looks to me like, genuinely looks to me like someone that's sitting there now going, that player wants to leave, will you please sell him? I think if you gave Eddie the freedom to say what he wanted to say, I think he'd probably just go, listen, he doesn't want to be at the football club. I don't want anyone here that doesn't want to be at the football club. We're selling him. But he can't do that when they're, negotiating prices for players. But I think Eddie Howe is getting frustrated at the lack of movement from Liverpool with regards to transfer, or not Liverpool, Newcastle, with regards to transfers. And I think an awful lot of what they're trying to do is going to hinge on the sale of Alexander Isak. So it's one of those. Kev, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, I mentioned NordVPN and you've just fucked off. Someone says, Jesus, he's currently changing countries as we speak. So there you go. Joyce has said in excess of £10 million. I think the number is probably around 15 million. To be honest, that was the number around last season. Richard says, people are suggesting Morton will sell for 25 to 30 million quid, are on crack, 18 to 20 million max. I agree with you, Richard. You're looking at the Chiesa and Morton money covering someone like a Fofana. Yeah. You are really,
yeah.
And you're replacing next to no minutes there. But anyway, Kev, we've covered Isak. We've covered possibility of Ekatike making a debut tomorrow. You're seeing all the lads tomorrow. 11:30 airtime kickoff, which is a strange one, but not a bad time. Sit down with your cup of tea and watch it. Luis Diaz. We've covered Will Wright. We've covered Malik Fofana. We've covered Tyler Morton. Is there anything else that we've missed?
Yeah, there was a story tonight in the Athletic that FSG are looking at Getafe.
Okay.
I mean, the story came up about a month ago, and
were they not looking at Malaga a while ago?
They were looking at Malaga at one time, but about a month ago they came out and they were looking at Getafe, and apparently the owner of Getafe has brought the price down for the club now to something in around £100 million.
Okay.
And FSG are looking into that as a bit more seriously. I mean, look, Getafe had been in Europe recently. They've won a couple of... they've been in a couple of Spanish Cup finals. 12 miles outside Madrid. Could be a decent club if you're looking at if you're looking at a multi-club ownership in a top league.
Well, all I'd say is, Kev, if they do take them over, can they please fill in the forms with regards to multi-club ownership being in European competitions? Yes. Because the amount of clubs wandering around the gaff, right, that are owned by the same people going, is there a form? They have to fill out a form. Right? It's happened with Crystal Palace. It's happened in the League of Ireland here in Ireland as well. Where the team has been denied entry into Europe because they are owned by another club is owned by the same people, and they've had to go with the club that the other club, because they're ranked higher and stuff like that. Just fill in the forms. I'm Look, I don't know how much like you look. People go on about multi-club ownership and does it work and does it not. How many times did he cross? Not that many. They're trying to put structures in place where you can't sell to each other unless it's market value. And you look at Man City, and City own a team in Australia, a team in America.
I'm breaking up
You
like
know,
mad here.
yeah, you are breaking up a bit. Stay there. And you
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of look at it and
breaking
go,
up, yeah.
there's not a huge crossover in them. You know, Chelsea and is it Strasbourg? Chelsea and Strasbourg. So look,
Well,
it's
yeah.
I don't know. Like if they buy them, they buy them. But I'm not gonna. The only reason I don't want them to buy them is that we're not sitting here going, oh, what get half of our spending our fucking transfer money, and it's like, wow, lads, this isn't how it works. Please,
No, it's
this is
not.
not how it works. It's like when Liverpool started spending money, and the Red Sox were like, oh, but they're spending all their money. I'm like, no, simply not how it
No.
works. They're different entities within the group. So there you go.
And I think that's the thing with most multi-club operations. I think RB Leipzig is probably RB Red Bull is the one you look at and you go, look, you have RB Leipzig, you have Salzburg, they have a few others. They've invested now into Leeds as well. They're the ones that you look at and go, yeah, you're really trying to turbocharge your business. Man City have clubs dotted around all over the place, but they are probably within an umbrella group. The Crystal Palace one is strange. You know, I mean, yes, there's no swapping players between each club or whatever. But I guess from Palace's point of view, in March when they were supposed to fill in these forms, they never imagined that they'd be in the position that they would.
But
That they were in.
Kev,
You do
just fill
without
them
it.
in.
You should have done it. Parish. This is Steve Parish not doing what Steve Parish is supposed to
But
do.
just fill the fuckers
Make
in.
sure that it's done.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like me saying, look, I'm not going to fill in the insurance forms for this season for my car because, I don't think I'll crash it. Do you know what I mean?
It's
There's a chance
exactly
of it happening. Just fill in the form, send it off, and they go, no problem at all. Because I genuinely think Palace would have been fine if they'd have just had the forms and the paperwork in. But
yeah.
if you're not
The
filling
irony
in,
is,
I think it's more of a declaration that you have to make with regards to the form. It's not like
that's all it is.
what's your IBAN number and what's your ma's maiden name. I think it's more of a declaration form you have to make to say this is how it stands and this is how we work and we will stay within these parameters. And they go, grant. And then when it gets to the end of the season, Palace go, where are Europe? Europa League? And they go, well, you haven't kind of declared to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to move you out of the two competitions to get you away from each other.
Yeah.
And it's very unfair, but at the same time, just fill in the fucking form.
I feel for the Palace fans, but that's about it. That's where my sympathies end because I think they'll go into the Conference League and they have a legitimate chance of winning it. Genuinely, they really could go. I almost expect a Premier League club in the Conference League to go and win it, or at least go a long way. The Europa League, I think they'd probably get found out in the knockout stages.
I think see, the thing is, Kev, the Europa League money dwarfs the Conference League money, and the way the Champions League dwarfs the Europa League. So it's a money thing for Palace. If they're looking to go on to the next stage and not be that constantly fucking 12 to 14 place team in the Premier League, and push on, this was meant to be a huge thing for them. But again, believe in not even if you believe in it, just fill in the fucking form. And if you have to fill in the form for 20 years and you don't get near it,
you do.
Yeah, 100%. Right, I think that's it. Ashley says not only can Gav recognise songs while blenders are on in the background, he can also do paperwork if needed. Just have FSG give him a call. Yeah, I'll fill out all the forms, no problem. I'm getting an awful fucking time over the fact that I can recognise songs when there's other noises in the room. But listen, I stand by it. I'm not backing down. 100% not fucking backing down. But there you go. And actually, sorry, somebody said it there a minute ago. Tiernan says, the opening chords came on the radio earlier. Immediately knew it was Pink Pony Club. I did a gaff. It depends. Was there other sounds going on in the room when the radio come on? Was the radio low? Did you just catch a note and then go, oh, Jesus, is that? And it's more or less a musical hearing test rather than musical knowledge. By the way, Pink Pony Club, what a fucking tune. I think a woman is deadly that sings it. Can't remember her name, but she's deadly. It If my daughter was here, she'd tell me what her name was, but she's deadly. Right, are we going to go?
Yeah, we'll go.
Okay.
Get out, exit stage left. No drama.
No worries. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that for YouTube. If you need a VPN, you know where to go. The link is in the description. If you're in any way thinking of a VPN for the football season or streaming TV or any other sports or whatever you want, if you're thinking of using a VPN, you won't get a better deal than that. NordVPN are right up there, and it helps us if you use the link in the description. The other thing is patreon.com/Talkin Kop. That is our Patreon. That helps us as well. Try it for a month. If you like it, great, stay with it. If you don't like it, stop paying. Say no, you're okay. There's more and more shows gathering pace as we approach the season, and when we get into the season, they definitely will. The next one up, I think, is in a day or two, where myself and Ashley are going to do a closer look at Florian Wirtz. So that should be nice. We might just show all those little deadly bits and just sit there and say nothing, to be fair. Gar Max says, Pink Pony Club, will you have a day off? Gar, listen, Gar, you need to broaden your horizons when it comes to music, right? Chappelle Rowan is the girl's name. She's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Garmac is sitting there. Garmac basically listens to songs where it just sounds like a 4-year-old kid is banging a fucking spatula on the bottom of a pot. That's basically what he listens to. So there you go. Davey T says, Gan Canny, everyone. I don't know what that means. I think it's goodbye in tune language, but fair play. He's off. He's heading off, and Davey's a top fella. Right, we're going to go. We've done all the bits. We've done all the reminders and stuff like that. I've been Gav. That's been Kev. That's been your update, and we will talk to you very soon. Over and out.